Hey guys, it's me, Angela Johnson Ayers here. I know every time you see me, you say, oh my God, we don't know what she's going to look like. She changes her hair like the wind. But I like to keep it, spicy for my husband. He never know who he's coming home to. That way he don't ever have to go outside the home. Let's pray. So anyway, I am here because I wanted to talk about embracing and surrendering to the season that you're in. Any of you all who follow me on like my podcast, my blog, Confessions of Mommy, you will see that I have chose to be a stay-home mom. I had our first child 10 years ago. The transition was not easy for me becoming a stay-home mom. One was because I missed working and bringing in two incomes. It was just my husband working now that, being a stay-home mom. And then second of all was just feeling as though I was not succeeding, feeling like I wasn't achieving, feeling like I was just wasting away, my dreams, my ambitions and everything. And I'm telling you, it has taken and it still is a daily struggle and a job in my mind to truly embrace the season that I'm in right now. And I want to encourage you all too, because when I think back over my life of the different seasons that I was in, whether it was when I was in high school, while I was in college, graduate school, when I was single and on my own, I never took full 100% advantage of that season. I was always in one season wanting to be in the next. That's just like today. Here in North Carolina, it was a little rainy and chilly. And all I kept thinking about was, I can't wait until the summer. But when it's summer, what am I going to do? Complain about the heat and want it to get cold. And the problem is, we as people, when I say people, I mean humankind, it is hard to embrace for many people the season that you're in. So if you're in college, maximize while you're in college. You're not going to be in college forever. One is because you're not going to be able to afford to be in college forever. And two, you got to come to an end. Just like when I was single, I think I wasted the most time in my life when I was unmarried. And I don't mean I wasn't accomplishing. I was accomplishing things, like I was getting education and I was getting pretty great and decent jobs and I did some pretty fabulous things. But as far as in becoming more well-rounded, I didn't maximize it. I was so focused on, I gotta have a man in my life. Oh, I want to get married one day. And it's like, what the heck are you rushing? Why not surrender to that season at 100%? Because see, when you don't surrender, you battle, you kick against the prick, you fight. When a surrender is like raising a red flag and saying, I give in. But I didn't surrender. And I really regret that I did not. And I don't live in a lot of regrets. I don't regret a lot of the mistakes, and I've made a whole heck of a lot of them. But the one thing I regret is that during my single time, I was so busy wanting to be in relationships and, I should have been doing more to feed my spirit, to really nurture my relationship with God. I should have been doing more as far as financially, as far as stacking up paper, as they call it, saving more money, investing, getting into stocks and bonds and mutual funds and all kind of investments. I should have been getting my body in optimum shape, so that when I did walk down the aisle, I would have looked the way I wanted to look. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of sleeping around, giving so much of my precious self to some people who really didn't deserve it. When you do not surrender to your season, you prolong the season, you're miserable, and it's a disservice to yourself and what God is really trying to teach you during that season. And then for you moms, this may be your season where you're a stay-home mom. It can be a mundane existence, but anything can be mundane. A workout can be mundane. You know what I'm saying? You do the same workout every day, Monday through Friday. You hit the treadmill, then you do some weights, and then you do, you have to switch it up some. I always think about this show that my husband and I love to watch. It's called River Monster, and it is so good. It's entertaining because there's this gentleman, I forget his name, and he goes to all the most remote places of the world looking to catch these, they call them river monsters, not really monsters, but they're like these big fish and things in the ocean, in the water that have killed people, have harmed people, whatever. So he's trying to catch them and study them. And as a fisherman, you know that you got to have a strong pole, right? So he's pulling one way. Let's say he catches this weird, strange type of, what was that thing he had the other day? A stingray. And it wasn't your typical stingray. It was like from some remote part of wherever in the world. And it was so big. And he's pulling one way. And the stingray, of course, is just trying to pull the bait and get away. So there you have this gentleman. He's pulling in the opposite direction. And they both are resisting each other. And when there's that type of resistance, there was a friction. So eventually, the stingray lost. And the gentleman was able to pull him back. But because of the resisting on each end, it took longer. Had the stingray just surrendered, it would have been an easier pull. Or had the gentleman, the fisherman, just surrendered and said, just forget it, it's too strong, it wouldn't have been as hard. And I want to apply that to what you're going through in your life, whatever that may be. If you are a stay-home mom right now, you're kicking against the prick. You're trying to make sense of something. This is your season. You're in it. Maximize. I'm telling you, I have been miserable for many years because of not embracing my seasons. I have wished my life away. I have rushed my life away. I have prematurely married the wrong man before because I was so impatient on getting married and just wanting someone, taking jobs, even created friendships with people who I wouldn't have created friendships with. When you do not embrace your season, you will be so out of sorts. Think about it. It's wintertime now, right? Go outside dressed in the wrong season clothes and see what happens. Go outside in a bikini right now or in swim trunks. See what happens if you won't catch the death of you, as the old folk used to say. You're going to get sick. If you're not armed and guarded and dressed and in the season that you should be, anything can happen to you. And it's vitally important that we know what season that we're in. I really get sick of preachers saying, it's your season. It's your time for a blessing. That's not true. Because everybody's season, there is seed, there is time, and there is harvest. And it may be Boo-Boo's season because he has sowed. And now he's let the time go by and now it's his harvest. But everybody's season is different. Seasons on the East Coast are different from the West Coast. Seasons in one continent is different from seasons on another continent. So whatever season you're in, don't despise it. Embrace it. And I'm telling you, if you don't surrender to your season, you're not going to get out what you should have learned from it. Trust me. Many times you're going to stay in that season longer because God is so gracious. Every lesson unlearned is a lesson repeated. And he sometimes wants us to learn the lesson and get it so bad that you're going to stay in that season till you get it. It's just, you can't fast your way out of it. You can't pray your way out of it. You're just going to have to sit and surrender to the season. And when you surrender, that doesn't mean you become dormant and lazy and trifling and complacent and stop trying. But what it says is that, okay, right now God has me unmarried, right? Or right now God has me married. You wanted to be married for so long. Now you have the mate and you don't know how to spend no time with them. You don't want to spend any time with them. You're so busy doing you. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm every woman. And you can have it all, but it has to be in seasons. It's like we're never satisfied as people. Isn't that funny? You pray for an education, you get it. You pray for a job, you get it. You hate that job, you want another job. You pray for a mate, you get a mate. Now you don't want to spend no time with your mate. Now you want to do you and be on these girls' trips and me time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You got to have your time. But my God, every weekend is girl time. None is spent with hubby. The hubby you prayed for, you fasted for. You may have even run before God and got. You got children now, you wanted kids, and now, I need a break. Let the nanny handle them, honey. I mean, come on. There's nothing wrong with a nanny. Don't get it twisted. If I had the money, I would have one or two and one on speed dial. But what I'm saying is just embrace whatever season you're in. Don't stop rushing your life away. My 10-year-old one day, no, it was the 6-year-old. She told me, Mom, I want to be a teenager. I said, no, you don't. You want to be whatever you are right now and maximize that because you can never go back. Even if I were to go back now to being single, I wouldn't be the same Angela I was because I'm 47. I'm not in my 20s and 30s. So you can never go back. You can never go back to that season. Every spring is a different spring. Every summer is a different summer, right? Every fall is a different fall. So I just encourage you, please, whatever season you're in, married, single, young, old, middle age, you have young children, stay-at-home mom, work outside of the home mom, whatever your season is, maximize it. Maximize it. Hey, continue to follow me on Instagram. It's Confessions of Mommy. Also, my blog site is confessionsofmommy.blogspot.com. And I can't wait to hear from you. Be blessed. Bye-bye.